All right, last topic here, my boy Jay Williams. Ooh, he wants to retire the Mount Rushmore topic from sports takes. Uh-oh. When I heard the topic, and I said, oh, damn. I know where we're going, but don't take me there. Sometimes you just don't want to go where Captain Obvious is driving you. You're like, don't take, oh, damn, he took me there. All right, here's the quote. Can we first off just stop with the Mount Rushmore talk? They're not even the four best presidents this country has ever had. What is Jay talking about? That's my dog. But damn it, everyone in this room was not even able to vote. Oh, okay. I just want to say that off the top. That's our metric for success, question mark. That's our king. That's what Jay Williams said. Now, Stephen A., I could tell he was a little perturbed. He was like, dog, it's okay to get off course, but don't go in the weeds. Don't go in the rough over there for what? Just answer the damn question. So he reminded Jay that the term's just a metaphor and not an endorsement of the presidents whose heads are sculpted into the National Memorial. Duh. But Smith also acknowledged he agreed with Williams' overall point. That agreement to me sounded more like, all right, let's move on. And that's the thing about being with co-hosts or other guest panelists. There's a point where you're like, I need to get my point off. So you start off with your take. They start off with their take. Now you can see the disagreement in that, and you guys go at it back and forth, volley, rally, back and forth, back and forth. Then there's a certain point where you're like, okay, they're not understanding me. I'm not understanding them. Even if we do understand each other, we're not agreeing, whatever it may be. Do I press again? Or do I just go, okay, I concede. Even though I don't agree, I agree to disagree. And that's usually like, let's move on, right? And sometimes that's contentious, but most times it's just like, all right, whatever, dog. It's basically a big whatever, dog. Ain't nobody trying to go down there. Ain't nobody trying to talk about that. All right, so we all know Jay is not the first to kind of go there, talking about the Mount Rushmore and crowning the best or the elite. And when we talk about it, Jalen Rose did that. Also, he did it last year. He said, can we retire using Mount Rushmore? That should be offensive to all of us, especially Native Americans, indigenous people who were the first people here before Christopher Columbus. Woo, we in that Wikipedia right now. No encyclopedia. That sounds like my third grade project. 4 American presidents were put on what we call Mount Rushmore on top of the dead bodies that is buried right underneath. Amen. So I call for you and for myself. I'm owning this too. Let's stop using the term Mount Rushmore when we're talking about our favorite rappers, talking about our favorite movies, talking about our favorite players. Ain't right. They ain't wrong. They're right. But at the same time, even though they're right, I am still going to say Mount Rushmore. I'll tell you why. It's not offensive to me. Have you guys ever been in these positions where something didn't offend you until either someone told you it was offensive or you had to read up on the offense, right? And that situation, let's just start in a global sense, like Jada Pinkett and Will Smith when they were sitting there at the Oscars. And when Will Smith laughed at first, right? And then Jada looked at him like, what? You don't understand? You don't know the context? You're not looking deeper into it? You're not offended by that? He got offended. Okay. Now, that's a dynamic because of his wife. He's like, yo, I always got your back. So if you ain't liking something, I don't like it. I get all that part. But did you see how he learned in that moment to be offended? This Mount Rushmore topic to me is the same way. Like, we're not going to change history. We could change how history looks. We can obviously talk deeper about history and illuminate some things that were forgotten from the past, but we're not changing history. It happened, right? Like, once I send this podcast, you ain't changing it. It's out there, dog. It's a wrap. So I am not caught up in the symbolism of history because the actual fact of the matter and the actual facts and occurrences is enough for me, right? So if Mount Rushmore from hello, once you learn what Mount Rushmore is, wasn't offensive, the learned offensive statements don't hit me the same, right? Dukes of Hazzard comes to mind, right? I grew up watching Dukes of Hazzard. I knew the song, just a good old boy. Don't mean no harm, something like that. You know, I don't know lyrics, but I knew it. Only on the gone, let's extol it, because at the beautiful, right? Breaking the way. I remember the song, right? I loved it. Confederate flag on the side. I didn't even know what the hell that was. And then also somebody said, dog, that's the Confederate flag. And I was like, oh, snap. Then I started looking back. Damn, Dukes of Hazzard. Damn, I ain't seen no black people on Dukes of Hazzard. I swear I was. Did y'all? I was like, Boss Hall. Oh, damn it. All whites. Oh, damn it. I was like, all this stuff got me, right? But that was me learning to be offended. I already had Confederates. I already had that whole down south, that issue in a box learned, knowing that was offensive. But now the symbols of that and this show didn't make me all of a sudden say, now I can't watch this show anymore. Because they're actually showing the facts of the matter, right? They're showing that people lived like this back then. And it wasn't offensive to me, right? And you couldn't teach me or make me all of a sudden be offended by that show. Now, you can make me offended of the fact that slavery existed and there were Confederates and the Confederate flag. Yes. But you get the difference. So when you get to of age and then all of a sudden you say, you know what, we should stop saying Mount Rushmore because of what it reflects of yesterday. I'm like, well, one, it's not about the best four presidents. And so we already have taken that and made it loose, right? We're trying to say the best and they ain't even say the best. But two, what's wrong with it? Oh, because we know the history of it. Well, knowing the history of it, and now we are doing something different with it, sounds similar to what people always tell me about the N-word, right? You know the history of it, but it's different now, right? So I challenge all those who don't like Mount Rushmore to not use the N-word. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. Y'all catch all those conflicts, contradictions, and hypocrisies? Yeah, me too.